Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday, everyone. My name is Justin Moore, founder of Creator Wizard, where I teach you how to find and negotiate your dream sponsorships. Back at it for another live stream. Excited to be here today. We're gonna be talking about how to sell stuff and be thanked for it. If you've ever had any fears around, talking about brands, talking about your own stuff, it's a very common thing, and I want to dig into it today. So let me know where you're tuning in from. I am live across Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, you name it, I'm there. We've got Divya. What's going on? Tuning in on Instagram. We've got Rachel Seha118. Good to see you here. We've got some folks in the YouTube chat as well. As with every Friday, my live streams are for y'all, and so any comments or questions or things you want to know about brand deals, negotiating, sponsorships, pitching, we're going to be doing a Q&A a little bit later. We've got Max. What's going on? Tuning in on YouTube. We've got D. What's going on? We got D and fam in the house. We've got Colin. What's up, man? We've got Colin. Good to see you here, dude. And TC is me as well. We've got Nostalgia Unboxed. What's going on, man? We've got Jonathan tuning in. Good to see you, dude. All right, so let's dive into it to talk about how to sell stuff and be thanked for it. So, two of the biggest fears that I hear from creators about doing sponsorships are, number one, that my audience is going to call me a sellout, right? Or number two, doing ad reads is going to ruin the creative purity or integrity of my craft. Maybe you have been doing a podcast for 3 or 4 years and you've never done an ad, or maybe YouTube or a newsletter or whatever it is, whatever your medium is, whatever your craft is. There's this fear that like introducing, other third parties who may want to exert some level of creative control over what you're putting out there is scary, right? And that's what oftentimes prevents a lot of creators from even going down that path. And so they choose to monetize potentially in other ways that, where they may not have to ask their audience for things. For YouTubers, for example, AdSense is a really nice, they feel as though it's a really nice, attractive option because these ads roll before the video or in the middle of the video. And oftentimes viewers don't necessarily associate the creator with those ads. They think it's YouTube that's running the ads, not that they don't realize that the creators actually have control over whether ads are running and even where those ads are running. Like you can actually manually put where you want the ads to roll. And so I think there's this like wink, wink, nod, nod with a lot of YouTubers where there's this like recognition that viewers don't have, that it's actually creators who are in control of that. And so creators really, a lot of times really prefer that because they don't actually have to like ask their audience, hey, pay me for something, right? And so I want to talk about this today because I want you to strap in because I've got a simple exercise for you that's going to make you excited to pitch brands and completely change the way you think about your relationship with your audience. Okay. And I call it audience first offers. So many creators first float, I think, into sponsorships because it seems like just the easiest and most obvious way to monetize their influence, right? They start by, DMing or emailing brands that they already love. Oh, and they say, oh, I've been using your product for 3 years and it'd be great to collaborate. So not only is that a terrible pitch, but it completely ignores the most important thing, which is that it's not about you. Okay. And so here's what I want you to do instead. I want you to ask your audience. I want you to create a simple Google form or Typeform survey and link it in your next post. What type of job do you have? What's your relationship status? Do you have kids? How and when do you typically consume my content? Is it in line at Starbucks for 2 minutes, or do you sit down every Sunday and catch up on the last 3 hours of my podcast or newsletters or my YouTube videos? Okay. What problems do you have and what keeps you up at night? Is there anything that you wish I talked about more in my content? Is there any type of product that you wish I sold or offered that I don't? What types of brands or products or services have you been using and loving right now? Or maybe are there, any other creators that you'd like to see me collaborate with? And why? By the way, if you don't want to do a full-blown survey like that, just ask these questions on Instagram stories or your YouTube community tab, or you say, hit reply to this email, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. And so you're probably wondering, like, why do an audience first offer survey, which is what I call this? Well, rather than relying solely on your demographics, you are now gathering powerful psychographic texture to better understand what makes your audience tick. And here comes the really fun part about this, is that you now have three distinct ways to serve your audience, which I call your PSA. So the P is your products. This is the stuff that you sell, right? Digital products, courses, coaching, merchandise, books, software, etc. The S in PSA is sponsors. These are brands who offer a product or a solution that your audience told you that they need. Now, when you reach out to these brands, your pitch shifts from, oh, I love you, please pay me, to, would you like to access this big pool of your ideal customers? A in PSA is alliances, right? These are other creators or peers who can help your audience with something that you're never going to offer, right? Maybe it's coaching, maybe it's courses, right? You better be actively trying to forge some joint ventures or affiliate deals that's going to be a win for everyone. We talk about this. One thing I like to say a lot is like a scarcity mindset sucks and an abundance mindset rocks. And because you're probably thinking, but Justin, if I tell my audience about other brands or creators' stuff, they're going to have less money to buy my stuff. And, when you have an audience first mindset, what do you think is going to happen when you introduce them to something that actually solves a problem in their lives in a really profound way? They're going to love you and trust you even more. And surprise, surprise, they're probably going to be way more likely to buy your stuff since you're now a hero in their eyes. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute now. Selling doesn't feel so scary now. Right? It's not icky. It's not dirty. It's not something that you have to do just to keep the lights on. No, selling is serving. And you want to know the most remarkable part about audience first offers? You're actually going to make more money in the end. And so I really like talking about this audience first mindset, this audience first offers mindset, because I think it's a big unlock for a lot of creators who have had trepidation, who have had hesitation around, monetizing their craft. Because, look, I get it. Like I understand kind of the starving artist mindset where it's like, no, I don't ever, want to like monetize this, because then it's either going to feel like a job, or I'm going to grow to hate it, or this type of thing. But I run into so many creators who are just really struggling to get by. They're really struggling to continue to do this thing that they really love. And so I'm here as someone to say, look, I think it's beautiful that you want that. And I really think maintaining that love, that intimacy, that love for what you do, kind of the creative purity is important. But if you want to continue to do this for a long time period and not burn out and feel as though you're constantly trying to scrape by, then maybe it is time. It could be a worthwhile exercise to start thinking about. Maybe there's a audience first way that I actually can make some money off this, and not just scrape by, but actually thrive. Right. And so again, like part of what I hope I do every time that I show up on this live stream every Friday is to kind of just stretch your brain, stretch your imagination of what's possible, get you comfortable with this idea that selling is not dirty. Selling is serving, if you approach it the right way. Does this unlock anything for anyone in the chat? Drop it in the chat and let me know. Is this helping you unlock your mind here? Really, really curious here. Bigfoot Society said, Brand Deal Wizard is the best. I'm getting confidence and knowledge I thought I would never have. Boom, you are so welcome. I'm so thrilled to hear that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that bad boy, that testimonial. That is huge. Thank you so much for I'm so glad to hear that that's been such an unlock for you. Sovgun says, not anymore. YouTube controls the replacements and all of it is now automatic placement. The only choice you have is whether you have ads or not, but not how many you have and where. Oh yeah, I think I did see that So Jonathan actually clarified here in Nostalgia Unboxed, mid-roll ads are still controlled by the creator. Yeah, that's what I thought too. That yes, I did see that release that YouTube said that they're going to be controlled like pre-roll stuff now, but mid-rolls I'm pretty sure you still have control over that. So, Jonathan said, I did this survey last week and I got 43 amazing responses in 2 days. Loads of great info. Love to hear that. The one thing that I really love about this also is that it can inform your content strategy. Maybe you get some responses back where you're like, oh, wow, I didn't actually know that I had these types of people in my audience, or wow, I didn't know that they were like wanting me to talk about that type of thing. I think that that's such a huge unlock. And so I'm thrilled to hear that you got some great results from that, Jonathan. That's huge. All right, let me take a swig here. We've got Eric Remias tuning in on Instagram, Lynn Sire. We've got the Blended Beauty, Hazel L. Dania. Good to see you here as well. Oh my goodness. One thing I'm super excited about, guys. Oh, quickly, Jonathan said, absolutely allowed me to uncover some brand ideas outside the normal. Love to hear it. We've got Getting Negative here in the YouTube chat. Good to see you here. All right. So one thing I was going to say is I'm so unbelievably excited, y'all, because I just announced Creator Wizard AI. I've kind of been teasing it a little bit, but it is a chatbot that has been trained on all of my videos, all of my live streams, all of these live streams, all of my articles, and all of my course material. And this thing is like super cool. It's super sophisticated. I've been testing it for about a month or so. And I just released it to as kind of a beta to my Brand Deal Wizard student and alumni, just to kind of start eliciting some feedback. But it's pretty next level. I mean, there's some really cool things that you can do, whether it comes down to like research, you're researching a brand and trying to think up ideas of what you could pitch them, getting feedback on some, your emails. So maybe you can copy and paste your back and forth of your negotiations into it to kind of get some feedback there. It almost serves as kind of like a glossary of like, oh, I know Justin talked about this in like a video somewhere or in one of the courses. Like, I can't remember though. And so you can like, what is the rope method or what is the do rule or like, these frameworks that I've created along the way. If you're a student, even on my free content, I talk about it to some degree. But like, I'm pretty excited. I am kind of treating it as like a V1 of course, but I have some other ideas of like, potential ways to like make it even more valuable. But I'm just excited about this because, I have this big mission to help creators big and small land 1 million sponsorships by 2032. And so that's a really big, hairy, audacious goal, the BHAG as they call it. And so if there's no way that I'm going to be able to reach and help and serve that many people if I don't start exploring certain things like this. That goal led me to create the on-demand version of my program, which is at a lower price point. That goal has led me to, start exploring like AI tools like this. So I'm just getting pretty excited about how I might, potentially at one point open this up to larger audiences. It is now only available for Brand Deal Wizard students. But yeah, those of you who have played around with it, if you're a student and you're in the chat, let me know. If you played around with it. We've already gotten some pretty cool feedback from people about ways in which they're using it and stuff like that. Colin says in the chat, what's up, Colin? Colin said, a really big mindset shift after watching several of your videos recently. What about when they come out hard and fast with no budget and affiliate only? I always feel like I'm running them off. It's a great question. So one of the things I talk about a lot when a brand says, oh, we don't have the budget. Hey, why don't you just be an affiliate? Is that if you are not giving them any reason to differentiate you from all the other creators that reach out, then of course they're going to give you that line right out the gate, right? Because again, oftentimes when creators pitch brands, it's really uninteresting. It's like, hey, I've got all these subscribers or all these followers or all these viewers, blah, 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 blah. That's what every single creator says. It's not interesting in any way. And so it's actually your job to do research, understand what's going on in that brand's world, and then pitch them something that is actually an initiative, an objective that they have. So if you can illustrate to them that you looked at, the LinkedIn post that their VP of marketing was posting, you looked at their job boards and you see that they're trying to recruit for a content marketing manager or a social media manager, and you pitch them, hey, I can do that for you on a freelance basis, or I can create content for you so you don't have to hire your agency. If you're looking at their press releases, if you're right. So you're looking at like the things that they're posting on Instagram, the campaigns, you're looking at what they were posting last year, so it's like you're doing some research, and yeah, it's going to require more time. But if you're leading with that, you're going to instantly differentiate yourself and causing them to question their current strategies. So, in the situation where they're like kind of trying to steer you down the affiliate or ambassador route, you have to say different things to them. Right? You say, hey, I'm curious, like, oh yeah, your affiliate program looks awesome. Definitely going to check that out. Out of curiosity, do your affiliates, do you get the rights to repurpose the content that your affiliates create, because that's something that I specialize in. Let me know if you'd like me to send over some investment options for what that looks like. And then the brand thinks, oh, no, actually, we don't get that content to repurpose. We actually don't have control over what the affiliates talk about. And this is actually a really big piece, is that a lot of brands, the reason that they're going to be compensating you is because they rightfully should have more control. When you approve someone as an affiliate, and that affiliate goes out there and starts talking, and evangelizing a brand, the brand doesn't have any control over how that affiliate is talking about them. 99% of the time, right? And so if you're the one coming and saying like, hey, I understand that, I'm going to be providing you drafts for review. You can provide feedback, an XX number of rounds of feedback on that. If there's some sound bites, this is another important thing is like, brands have sensitivities around how their products and services are talked about. And so if you're the one who can say, hey, like, give me a creative brief, give me some do's and don'ts, give me like the sound bites, right? The seasonal promotion, the Black Friday, Cyber Monday promotion that's going on. You got anything going on there? I can help you. We can do some revisions here. And so we can make sure that you're getting some sound bites that you can cut down my YouTube video into a 30-second ad that you can run on Facebook and Instagram. That's what they're going to pay you for. And so again, it's your job to help them understand and articulate like how you're different from other creators that are reaching out with their hands out and be like, pay me. One example of this is I recently partnered with Circle, which is the community tool that I use for my private community for my program. And I've been, initially we did a newsletter sponsorship, and then as we shifted into Q4, which is what's happening right now, it seemed like the newsletter sponsorship was less of a priority for them in this quarter. And so kind of started like pulling the thread. I said, okay, well, what is important to you? And so one thing that they wanted to explore is UGC. And that's not something that I've really ever done before for Creator Wizard, at least. And so I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And so that's what I pitched them. I pitched them this, kind of comprehensive package where I'm delivering assets every month for them. Not only will I post natively on my platforms, but they can also repurpose it for paid advertising. And so this is another really interesting thing that I did, is that when I create the content, I film different calls to action at the end. So the native organic post that I'm going to be making about Circle on my platforms is totally different. It's not as salesy. So like, if I talk about like, oh, this is why I'm using, a private community in 2024, and I list out the 3 reasons. And then, at the end, I said, let me know in the comments, what's the biggest obstacle preventing you from launching your own private community or whatever. So that's what I say in my organic content. But in the ad version that I send to Circle to use for paid advertising, I don't say that. I say, so if you're ready to launch your community today, click the link below and start your free trial to Circle today. Right. And so it's different. So I'm providing 2 different versions for them to review. And so again, it's like you can be kind of next level here in terms of what you're providing to the brands, and you can be the expert. This is something I proposed to them. This isn't something they asked for. And they were like, whoa, they were blown away by this idea of like that you could do 2 different versions. Right. You could get really next level here. You can vary the hooks in these videos too. It doesn't just have to be the calls to action, right? And so you can get pretty sophisticated with how you think about this type of stuff. So, anyways, is that helpful, Colin? This is I love this type of stuff because I don't know, you can really blow a brand's mind if you can provide them some ideas here that they may have never considered before. So I'm gonna take a swig here and dive back into the chat. Jonathan said, I asked the AI 1 question so far, but it felt natural and made sense for the response. All right, there we go. Love to hear it. Well, keep the feedback coming, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. We've got Tony Locke tuning in. Awesome to see you here. We've got Sarah Dawn. Good to see you here. Home Rapid Repair back in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you here. All right, let's see. On Instagram, we've got Bianca. What's going on, Bianca Silver Fig? Colin said, genius wording on the affiliate stuff. Love to hear it. All right, boom. We've got Retro Denver Fines. What's going on? Retro Denver Fines said, curious what you think about ANA's pay equity guide that they released a few days ago. I haven't seen it. That's interesting. I'll have to make a note to check that out, or maybe you can DM it to me because I haven't seen that. That's interesting. The ANA is, remind me, I think it's the American, the Association of National Advertisers. Is that what it is? I think it is. But yeah, send it to me because I haven't seen that yet. We've got Cadu Ribeiro tuning in. I have a question for you, Cadu Ribeiro. Are you Romanian? Or are you Portuguese, maybe Brazilian? I'm trying to guess with your name. I have some friends who are Romanian, so I'm thinking maybe Romanian. I don't know. Let me know. Ribeiro maybe sounds Portuguese or Brazilian. So let me know. Good to see you here. We've got Strength Daily HQ tuning in. Good to see you here. So yeah, y'all, as I mentioned, are Brazilian. All right, there we go. I one out of the three. I think that was a pretty good guess, right? Pardon me. All right. What questions do you have? Brand deals, negotiations, sponsorships. We are squarely in the holiday Q4 season. You know, the campaigns are coming hot and heavy. You know, like I'll share a quick anecdote. My wife and I are working on our largest deal ever right now. You know, we have gone above and beyond for this partner. It's an agency who represents the client, represents the brand. And this opportunity came where the agency came back to us and said, hey, in addition to this deal we already signed, we have this like really quick turnaround thing where we're trying to see if there's any of our partners that can do a very quick turnaround time on some footage, the additional footage that the brand needs to run some paid advertising for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And they were in a pinch. And so because we were the ones who have been super on it and super responsive and super flexible throughout this entire negotiation process, they came to us with an incremental ask for this deal that push this deal to well near six figures. And so it was just like really interesting to me how like they always say that, like, you know, the successful people, it's like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's just like luck. They're in the right place at the right time. But it's that saying where it's like success is where luck meets opportunity, right? Or preparation. Or I'm trying to remember the saying. I can't remember it, but it's like, you know, I really feel is like when you put in the work and when you illustrate like how responsive, how, you know, how on it, how flexible of a partner that you can be, this is when brands come to you for these types of like low hanging fruit, quick turnaround time things where we're like, yeah, boom, we can make this happen. Sure. And like all of a sudden we've now exploded the top end like dollar value of this deal because that they really they look to us as like, oh yeah, we know April and Jessica can turn this around. So let's just like throw them this additional opportunity. Another example of that, we had a longtime brand partner who we've worked with on multiple deals reach out to us for an unpaid opportunity where it's like a charitable initiative that they're supporting. And we're like, yeah, no problem. We got you. No problem. Send us the assets, send us a little bit more information about this, and we'll be happy to amplify it. So what do you think that's going to do? That's going to continue to generate goodwill on behalf of that brand. And you know, this is something that I've talked about a lot in the past, is that this is the challenge sometimes when you have someone who represents you like a manager or an agent, and the only way in which they're able to, you know, make money or eat, I like to say, is if they're getting their 20%, they're getting their pound of flesh from your deal. And so this is the type of opportunity that they'll just stiff arm and they'll be like, nah, no thanks. Like they're not interested. They're too busy. But because we understand the value of, you know, increasing what I like to call the LTV, the lifetime value of each relationship that you have with the brand. This is the type of thing that we'll do. We'll say, sure, no worries. We'll post it on Instagram stories or whatever it is, right? It's not about the reach. It's not about the fact of like how many people it ultimately like reaches. It's about the fact that you did it to begin with. They will remember that. So I've talked about this a lot, but yeah, I think that there we go. Strength Daily HQ says, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. There we go. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Thank you, Strength Daily HQ. Can you let me know your name, Strength Daily HQ? I always like to know the names instead of just repeating usernames. So love to see it. Nostalgia Unbox says, Rapid Repair, this is not a paid message, but I promise you that Brand Deal will change your life with those emails. Holy cow. I thank you so much, Jonathan. That's very, very kind of you, man. And we are going to be in your corner rooting for you when you get that next massive deal. Like I know it, and I'm going to be there all along the way making that happen. So that really means a lot for you to say that, man. I'm so glad to hear that. All right. Eat Like a Bear says, what tool did you use to create the AI chat? Great question, Eat Like a Bear. So I partnered with a guy named James, and he has a tool called Twin AI. So if any of you want to do this, like definitely, hit up James, and his tool is called Twin AI, and you can actually do this for yourself too. Him and I work together to kind of customize it quite a bit. But this is something that y'all can do too if you're interested. So definitely check that out. All right. Let's see here. Nostalgia. Okay, Jonathan has a question here. I have some emails that have been read, but no replies. Any thoughts on next action? So, Jonathan, I'd go back to the Pinot method, the Pinot framework that I mentioned in the course. And this should be your playbook here. So when you do the follow-ups, like you're going to be following up even if you're not hearing back, and you're going to be not just saying, hey, just wanted to follow up on this. That's not what you want to do, because that's not providing value. You're going to give them something else. So for example, the P in the Pinot method is pivot, right? So you're going to pivot to some other idea. So if that initial idea I pitched doesn't resonate, here's another one. Or also happy to send you this article of how these other brands are achieving results on YouTube or TikTok or whatever platform you're talking about, right? So it's like this whole idea about providing value. I shared a concrete example of the importance of following up, even if you're not hearing back from these brands. I shared it in the private community from one of our alumni, Emma. It took 4 emails following up 4 times with one contact for them to finally get back and say, oh, sorry, I've been so busy, but yes, let's move forward. So she actually got this deal from being that persistent. And I said, do you have are you a creator who has the tenacity to follow up 4 times without hearing back? Because this is what can happen if you do. And just don't, you have to be fearless, right? Unless they say, don't ever contact me again, you have to be fearless with this type of stuff. So I never give up. That's really the point. And so, yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We got a question here from Sasha Merced on LinkedIn. Hey, Sasha, good to see you here. Any suggestions for someone who is starting and hasn't had a brand deal yet? Really good question. Well, the first thing I would say is go take my free masterclass. It's like a 70 minute masterclass. Just go to creatorwizard.com/masterclass. And it's totally free. And this will get you into the mindset of someone who is ready to understand what you need to actually pitch. What do you need to what are the components of a successful pitch? I talk about it in that masterclass about my rope pitching method. R stands for relevant. Your pitch has to be relevant to a campaign that the brand is either currently running or has run in the past. O stands for organic, meaning that you can tie your pitch back to organic work that you've already published that illustrates that your audience has affinity for their brand. P stands for proof, so you can show how you've helped other brands achieve results. And E stands for easy to execute, when the brand says that they might be interested. So definitely go check out that masterclass. I think it'll be really helpful. But the other thing too is just realizing that it's not about you. This is a lot of what I talk about in that webinar, is that, don't just reach out and pitch your wares, open your trench coat and be like, this is all the things. These are all the ways in which I can help you, right? The brand doesn't care. They get that pitch, 100 times a day. What they do care about is their own marketing initiatives. And so that's the big frame, is what's in it for them. And so, yeah, that's really what I would encourage you to do. Hopefully that's helpful, Sasha. Talia, Retro Denver Fine. We now know your name, Talia. Thank you. That's so awesome. Let's see. What do you suggest for follow-up when your first pitch may not have been your most quality pitch? Yeah. So I'm not sure if you asked that question right after I explained the thing about pivot. But there's other things. So, I talk about it in my program, but there's just different things. You can't just keep saying just following up. I talk about in my Gifted to Paid program, something that I call the ghost technique for following up. If you're being ghosted or rejected, or they're not, this is another thing. Maybe you're not, maybe you actually did get a response and they're saying thanks, but no thanks. You absolutely cannot just say, oh, okay, thanks. Please keep me in mind for future opportunities. This is what a lot of creators do, is you can't take no for an answer. Like you can't do that, right? You have to like you have to pivot on based on what their response is. I share an example in my program around how I got rejected initially from a pitch that I made to Visa because they were launching what they called the Visa Ready Creator Commerce Program, which is kind of almost like Stripe. And so I read about this in a newsletter that I follow, and I immediately pitched the person that I thought I immediately pitched the person that was quoted in that article that I read, and then I immediately like within a couple hours I got a response from someone on like in their like executive team who was responsible for that program, and basically saying thanks but no thanks, we're not interested in this right now. We're focused on our channel partners, not creators or creators directly. And I basically pivoted to that, and I said, oh, okay. I do, thanks for that information. I do think it would be valuable actually to generate more awareness about this program, even though, your creators directly are not your customers yet. There is a general awareness of, for example, Stripe in the creator economy, and that it powers a lot of the creator economy infrastructure. And so, I think it would probably be valuable to do some brand awareness campaigns, like talking about the VRCC program. And so again, like, I didn't say, oh, thanks, and then I ended the email with something like, if it would be valuable for me to come on and do a Zoom call, kind of a learning session with you and your internal team, I'd be happy to do that, right? So that's just an example of like a pivot that you could make that is not just saying like, okay, tail between your legs, I'm gonna go lick my wounds over here and like, long night of the soul, staring in the mere existential crisis. Like, no, don't do that. Like you have to like have some tenacity here. Well, one thing I really found out and I appreciate is that I understand that not everyone has this confidence. I understand and respect, and I totally appreciate that. Like I have this confidence because I've done it thousands of times. Literally, I've done over 500 sponsorships personally. I've facilitated over 1,000 through my agency. And so I have a lot of reps, right? And so because I have a lot of reps and because I've been rejected just an obscene amount of times, I just don't care anymore. It literally is not a blow to my ego, even in the slightest. And so I understand that if you haven't had that same level of repetition, it's easy for me to say like, oh, it's fine, just brush it off, like move on, who cares, right? And so I understand that. And so what I am saying though, is I'm trying to help you understand that if you can, just suspend your disbelief for a second, suspend your ego, have the humility and realize that even if a brand rejects you, it's not no, it's just not yet. I really feel like I need to get that on a shirt or like a hat or something. Like I feel like this is what I need. I need to like put this, I need to emblazon this on merchandise or something. Cause I don't know. I feel like it's the mantra that I live by. So anyways, like hopefully this helps. Bianca says, hashtag never give up. Can we get some hashtag never give up? Drop that in the chat here. We got Technically T tuning in on YouTube. What's going on, Technically T? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, let's get that hashtag trending. What do you guys think? All right. Retro Denver, Talia says, love the pivot suggestion. It feels so obvious now that after you said it. So glad to hear that. Yeah. I mean, it's like, there's other kind of tactics that you can do for sure too. But like, that's my favorite one. All right. We got a question up here. Okay. Kadu says, for video editing content, besides software affiliation, what kind of deals do you think that are more accessible to small channels with around 5K views monthly? Okay. Really good question. I'm glad you asked this, Kadu. So if you're a creator who has a niche, let's say, video editing or content or something, and you're, feel as though you're getting a relatively modest amount of, views or impressions or reach or whatever monthly, and you're trying to think like, man, who could I, what types of brand partners could I work with, or what types of affiliate, relationships could I forge? What I like to, put my hand on the shoulder of creators who are kind of in this place in their creator journey is that what you pitch to a brand or a sponsor has to change depending on where you're at in your journey. So if you're early on and you're getting 5,000, 10,000 views a month or something like that, a couple hundred views on average per video, let's say, and you reach out to a brand and say, hey, let me talk about you on my channel. For most brands, it's probably not going to move the needle, candidly. which is why it might feel frustrating. You might be getting ghosted or rejected, and brands are saying like, thanks, but no thanks. And so your pitch probably has to pivot now. What might be a meaningful thing for them now is you go out and you do an audit on their social presence and you see what they're posting on social media, and you approach them and say, hey, I love your software. I love your brand. I love your tooling, whatever. I actually don't see like a huge, robust presence that you have on social media, or maybe you do have that out there, but I have some other ideas for how we can actually, take your content to the next level and tell your brand story in a more compelling way. I would love to create 5-10 videos for you, brand, every month. It's going to be $2,500 a month or whatever it is. But you can repurpose that. You can put it on your website. You can, maybe you're a newsletter operator. Hey, I can like create, ghostwrite some newsletters for you. Maybe you don't have a newsletter at all. I can be the writer for that. I can help syndicate that content, or maybe, I can generate some content. You can use it for paid advertising if it's videos, right? So this could be potentially what you pitch to a brand like that. One of my favorite things is like, go and look at their job boards. Are they recruiting right now for someone in marketing, someone in content marketing? Are they trying to find an agency? Why don't you pitch to do that on a freelance basis? And so, guess what? Your YouTube channel or your platform, your Instagram, your newsletter, your podcast, whatever, that's your portfolio now. And so this is what oftentimes you need to pitch in the early days. And there are also, if you don't want to do that, there are, quite a few affiliate programs who will, probably accept you even if you only have 5,000 views a month, something like the Amazon Associates program, right? And so maybe that's what you use to illustrate to early brand partners that you do have influence. So if you start to, actually move the needle, start driving some sales, let's say on Amazon, you can use that to point to another brand and be like, hey, I actually am driving some sales on Amazon here. Give me a shot with your affiliate program. And so now that's at the beginning. So let's fast forward. Maybe you do grow. Maybe you're now getting 50K views a month or 100K views or something. Now it's starting to be a little bit more meaningful. Maybe your pitch becomes something hybrid where it's like, hey, I'm going to make some content for you, but now, hey, maybe I can syndicate that and repurpose that actually and distribute it on my channel now. It's going to start becoming meaningful. And then now when you're doing 1 million views a month or 500,000 views a month or whatever, maybe even 50,000 views a month, 100,000, now it may become very meaningful for you to start talking about a brand on your platform. So it's just like, I really like talking about this continuum because you like having the humility to realize that what you pitch changes based on where you're at can be a real game changer in terms of your mindset when you actually make a pitch to a brand. In fact, I'm going to actually like make a note here to like write an article about this. Write an article about the pitching continuum. I don't think I've ever written about that, and I think that this is actually a helpful thing to figure out like what kind of where you're at. Is this helpful, Kadu? Let me know where you're at. All right. T's hot mess history says, hey, what's going on? I definitely need to go back and watch this from the beginning. Yeah, good to see you here. MPAC just joined, guys. My speech coach just joined on Instagram. Mike Paccioni, what is going on, dude? Continuum would make a great presentation acronym. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to write that down now too. Dang. All right, hold on. Continuum. If I don't write this down, I'm going to forget. Continuum as speech presentation acronym. You don't think that's too long, Mike? That's a good one. Continuum. That's like, what is that? Like 8-9 letters? Okay, I'm just going to save that so I don't forget it. Thanks, dude. Good to see you here, man. Jam ___ Illa. This is super helpful info. Good, so glad to hear it. Good to see you here. By the way, Mike, did I tell you that I'm writing a book? Did we talk about this? I don't know if we did, but this is happening, dude. And I probably need to talk to you about this. But yeah, I'm writing a book. This is like the next major thing on my radar here, and I'm like squarely going down this path right now. Kadu says that's very helpful. Thank you. Glad to hear it, man. All right. Mike says, did not love it. All right. Well, yeah, man, I need to talk to you about how the book fits in with the speaking and like how I need to do all that. Yeah. So Oh, we got the cameo. Come here, baby.
No, we
How
got
are
the
you?
whole
Come here.
crew.
Oh my guys, we got my whole family today. Come here, baby. Come here. This is my son Liam. This is my son Jacob. This is my wife April. We're doing a live stream right now.
Hi,
What questions you guys want to sit on my lap? Come here. You guys can look at some of the comments. And my kids are home from school today because their winter or their Thanksgiving vacation just started.
Master Sword.
Yeah, they got the Master Sword.
Okay, Master.
We got Cullen saying April. We've got Texas DIY
Cullen and
Mama.
Katie.
Yeah, Cullen and Katie.
Hey, Cullen and Katie, you know them videos of Katie throwing stuff at you, Cullen? That's my favorite. I was watching it last night. I showed Justin. Keep doing those. Those are hilarious.
So what are you guys up to? Have you been playing Nintendo or what have you been watching?
I've been
Video
making
games?
them clean.
You've been making them clean. Okay, we're doing some chores today. I'd love to see it.
Mommy said.
What?
Mommy says nap time is at 1:30.
Mommy says okay, nap time's at 1:30. Nap time, quiet time is when they get to play their video games for a little while. Yeah.
Wait, what do you think is that?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever Mama says goes. Yeah.
Mommy said what I say it is.
Mommy says it's when I say it is. Okay.
That's not a
Mama says period. What about you, Liam? What are you guys doing?
I don't know. I'm just taking a nap.
Oh, you're taking a nap. Oh, look, Nostalgia Unboxed. Jonathan says Master Sword for the win. Yeah, do you like that?
Where?
It says it right here. This is the chat. This is where everyone is like sending comments.
What does it say?
Do you guys have any questions for my kids? Oh, yeah, look, Texas DIY Mama says, haha, good answer, whatever Mama says. Yeah, come on, as a parent, you got to speak with one voice. So the question is, if they ever ask me something, I said, did you ask your mommy already? And what did she say? Oh, man. Anything? Any questions for my boys? Or April? Yeah. We're talking about how to sell stuff and be thanked for it. That was I'm doing my audience first stuff. Oh, what do you play on your Nintendo, they're asking?
I usually play Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Bros. Wonder, Pikmin 4, Fall Guys, and Rocket League.
Oh, yeah.
You
that's a lot.
never played both of
But
them.
they got it.
Yeah, they haven't. We just downloaded Rocket League and Fall Guys for them, so they're excited to play that.
And it was free.
Yeah.
Free
Oh,
download.
look. Colin says, "What are you guys asking for Christmas?"
Wait, what? I'm asking for some new Jordans.
Some new Jordans. Whoa. What color?
Yesterday.
Oh,
Yellow
wow.
and blue.
Oh, honey,
He knows.
they don't need to know. Come on, what happened
I had
here?
to ask him his size.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What games do you guys want for Christmas? Did you talk about that?
What games? We usually we don't want any.
Mario Wonder and Wing Wing.
Oh yeah, Mario Wonder. They got that one. Oh, you will need to get Mario RPG next, a classic from when your dad was a kid. Haha.
Luigi. Oh yeah. Should we?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
is
we
there
know
a
how
way
to-
to
yeah,
get the
yeah.
original Super Mario game? Dun, 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 you know,
That's like kind of like RPG.
That's Mario 64.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Mario
What?
64.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's Mario.
Those Chris says those are fire games.
Who's Chris?
Yes, Chris Calder over here in the
Oh,
chat.
Hi, Chris.
Liz Bianco said you guys are adorable.
Who's Chris?
Liz, hi Liz.
Do we like anime?
Do you guys like anime?
Yeah.
Yeah. What anime do you guys like?
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. Yeah, we've been watching a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies. What were the other ones that we've been watching? Spirited Away and what's that other one? Those are so good. Spirited Away is
Tower
amazing.
of something. The guy who's a hawk and he does the tower
Oh yeah, yeah.
thingy.
Oh look, Katie said to tell them they did a great job laying out the rug to help April. They just saw the story. That's so funny.
Hi, Katie. I love you guys. Colin and Katie.
Oh my gosh.
What else? What are we
You guys
reading?
still-
I like to read it.
Yeah, we're just looking at the comments. I don't think there's any. Okay, says Crystal. Oh yeah, Spirited Away, Nausicaa. No, oh yeah, Valley of the Wind. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Did we watch that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we watched that
Oh,
one.
you know what? Next time.
Uh oh.
You,
I think you guys just turned the chat off.
Too. You gotta clean
Oh.
I know, my room is dirty.
this
All right, guys. All right, go be with Mama, okay? Oh, you got some
Okay.
phloem. Love you guys.
Bye.
Love you. Bye bye. Can you guys close the door? Thank you. Careful. Bye bye. Love you. Goodbye. Look at that cameo. I don't think we've ever had a full family cameo, have we? That was cool. Did you guys like that? Talia says, did they like board games too, or did they get too competitive? Our family loves board games, and they definitely get competitive, like 100%. They, whether it's Monopoly or Chutes and Ladders, or we like this game called, what is it called? Blockus. I don't know how to pronounce it, actually. It's a really fun game. I like that. We play that one a lot. We play, why am I blanking on the name? We play Uno a lot. We love all that. So yeah, love that you guys love the cameo. More of these. Love the cameo, says Crystal Huntress. Love it. Blockus. Is that what you call it? We call it Blockus. I think that's a fun game. Do you guys have any other board game recommendations that are fun? My kids are 6 and 9. So if you guys have any other board game recommendations, that would be, maybe like for the holidays, for Christmas, whatever, for Hanukkah, that would be good. All right. What other questions? We've got a little bit more time for this live stream. Love that you guys love the cameo. That was really fun. That was really cool. I like that. We've got Vlog Epicness tuning in here. Let's see. Did I miss any other questions here? Okay. Oh, Butcher Wizard. What's going on, Butcher Wizard? From a fellow wizard. Good to see you here. Question. I did a brand deal and the video got a lot of views in the first 10 days. 4x the requirement. How long do I wait to pitch them on the next integration or longer term deal? Right away, dude. I mean, this is when excitement is peak. This is the perfect opportunity to come back to them with some initial data of how well the video is performing relative to expectations. This is the time now to pitch them on the next deal. You don't need to wait. And so just have the understanding though that the campaign may not be over in their mind. And they may not be able to pull the trigger yet on, contracting you for another deal, but strike while the iron's hot, get in their inbox, pitch them on the next collaboration. And if they're not able to execute right then, just set a reminder to follow up, at let's say 30 days, or maybe they tell you, maybe they, you can ask them okay, well, when are you guys wrapping the campaign so that I can follow up with updated stats? So maybe you follow up with them now, which is 10 days after the content went live, but then you also follow up after 30 days, let's say, if they kind of put you on the back burner and say, hey, guess what? Just wanted to follow up. Not only did it get 4x the views, now the video is at 10x the views or 8x the views or whatever. So it's just you have to be the squeaky wheel. Don't rely on the brand to come back to you and say, hey, it went so well, let's collaborate again. No, it's actually your job. You have to be the one to pitch this type of thing, because they're not gonna, they're gonna sit on their hands oftentimes. And they may not be first, at the top of their mind to offer you a renewal deal. So, and some brands may not even know that you'd be interested in another collaboration. So again, it's your job to pitch these types of things. All right. Let's see here. Ticket to Ride would be a good board game. I've never heard of this game. Let me search this. Ticket to Ride board game. Okay, I'm pulling this up here. This looks cool. Okay, Ticket to Ride. I've never heard of it. Cross-country adventure game where players collect and play matching train cards to claim railway routes connecting cities throughout North America. That sounds really cool. All right, I'm gonna check this out. Thank you, Jonathan. This seems really cool. Ticket to Ride. I've never even heard of that game. Ticket to Ride. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear that that's helpful. Butcher Wizard, what is your name? Can you tell me your name? Okay, but are you going to introduce the kids to Settlers of Catan? That's a great idea. Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you something really. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, kind of vulnerable here. I may or may not have been the president of my chess club in high school. I'm actually very proud of it because I don't know if I mentioned this, but my youngest son, Jake, he's 6 years old. He just competed in his very first chess tournament. He's really, really into chess. And so I didn't even know that they did tournaments for kids this young. But yeah, it was really cool. And he placed 5th. He got 5th place. So I'm super proud of him. And he's really good, actually. He actually started playing chess younger than when I did. I think I started playing maybe when I was a teenager, maybe 12 or 13 maybe is when I started playing. And so he started playing when he was 4. So I think that I'm really excited to kind of nurture this because I don't know. I think chess is a really interesting game. I think it feeds kids brains and like helps them think outside the box and stuff like this. So yeah, I'm really can we get a round of applause for my 6-year-old son for coming in 5th in his first chess tournament? I think that's pretty cool. Talia says that's a new commitment to competitiveness. To be honest, like my wife and I are not helicopter parents at all. Like we're very much supportive of our kids. What's up, bud? Yeah.
I really wanted to ask
Yes, baby.
you
What's up?
if I did my medicine this morning.
No, you didn't. You have something else to say, baby? You guys like doing cameos now? Do you have a story to share or something?
Nope.
No? Okay. Can you close the door, baby? Thank you. Love you. They're funny. Now that they knew they have the permission to like come in here and make cameos, I guess they really like it. That's impressive. I can only do Connect 4, says Crystal. That's so funny. Yes. Love seeing those chess champions. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really proud of them. T's Hot Mess Mystery says, this is my first time in your live stream. Do you recommend that creators always find our own brand deals? I don't know how to do this and consider signing with an agency. So I'm going to drop a quick link. So, okay. All right. We've opened up a can of worms now here. T, because I'm quite outspoken about my feelings on managers and agents. And so I dropped a link here in the chat. And I've live streamed about this before too, that I believe that like 99% of creators should not have managers. And I talk about in that article, there's a lot of reasons why. But one of the biggest reasons that I, propose this, to kind of own, like be the CEO of your own business is that, perhaps the most important reason is that you have to build your own Rolodex. You have to build your own relationships with these brands and these agents and these agencies because managers, in my opinion, managers and agents come and go. I've been on, my wife and I have been on YouTube since 2009, so almost 15 years. And we have had a lot of different experiences with various, managers and multi-channel networks and agencies and stuff like this. And we've been independent now for 8 or 9 years, maybe a little bit longer. I think probably around 8 or 9 years. And the reason that one of the primary reasons that we've been able to continue to do this, we've both been full-time now. My wife has been a full-time creator since 2012, and I've been a full-time creator since 2014. So almost a decade for me. Like that doesn't happen by accident. And it's not just like, and we've thrived, we've developed a really like lucrative life for ourselves, and we feel so fortunate in that regard, but that doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen by sitting on your hands and waiting for deals to come to you. And you all know as creators that there's ups and downs to this type of thing. And what our experience has been is that you'll really find out who's your kind of like your ride or die in those periods where things are not so great. And like this now I actually think is a great example of this is that, there's a little bit of economic instability. Brand partnerships for some creators in terms of deal flow is down for some people, especially in certain categories. And when the inbound deal flow starts drying up, you'll quickly find that there may be some managers who just aren't going to hustle for you. It's easy when they're kind of shooting fish in a barrel and they're like negotiating deals on your behalf and it feels great. But when those deals start drying up and, you don't have that person out there pounding the pavement for you. You don't have them like pounding the pavement for you or hustling. Like it's up to you. You have to like be in control of your own destiny. And so this is really what I teach. The core of what I teach is that like you need to be the CEO of your own business. What I'm not saying is don't have a team. I have a team, but I believe that there's immense power when you can be the one on the phone call with the brand, and they can develop that rapport with you. I can. Another good example here is that I'm interacting with a brand on a potential opportunity right now for Creator Wizard, and I'm in the running. I know that I'm in the running with some other people, and they sent this kind of like questionnaire of like, oh, like answer some questions here. You know what I did? I fired up my camera, much like this, and I recorded a video. Do you think any of those other creators are going to record a video like that? where I like give like rich color and texture about my opinion about these questions that they're asking. And in fact, the brand was kind of blown away by that. And so it's like kind of going that extra mile. And if you don't have that, that context, and you're kind of removed from the process because your manager is just kind of handling it, like you miss out on those types of opportunities to really differentiate yourself, I believe. So anyways, definitely, check out that article because it's I think it'll go into a lot more detail here. All right, let me take a swig. Man, we got Jonathan just like showering love over here. Thank you. He said, T's Hot Mess Mystery. Before ever considering a manager, at least sign up for Justin's course. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Yeah, T said, thank you so much for this information. I've been a full-time creator for 3 years, and creating content takes so much time that I will have to figure out when to find deals, for myself. So, one of the things that I like to say is that, if you've been a full-time creator for 3 years and you clearly have developed the discipline and the schedule to create content on a regular cadence, a regular schedule, right? And so if you've been relying just on AdSense or maybe some brand deals that come inbound to you, like that's been gravy for now and that's fine. But again, relying on brand deals to come to you it's not how you create a business. If you like, let's draw a parallel to any other business. And that would require, customers, right? Whether it's a brick and mortar store or you have a software business and you have salespeople to generate new customers for that software program. You have to develop what's called a sales pipeline. You're not going to just like get customers like banging down your door. You have to actually market. You have to advertise, right? And so when you're a creator, if you start thinking about yourself as a business, what would that mean to actually market yourself or advertise? That's going to mean actually going out there and getting in front of potential customers, which is advertise. If we're talking about sponsorships, that's going to be brands and advertisers, right? And so it's your job to actually go out there and kind of show provide a pitch to them of what you can do for them, how you can solve a problem for them. And what you'll find is that there's going to be varying levels of reception to that pitch. Some brands are going to be really excited. Some brands are going to be not so excited. Some brands are going to kind of stiff arm you. But what you're going to find is that you have to put all of these, various relationships that you're starting to forge into some sort of organizational system so you can track it. Right? And what you'll find is that everyone is going to be at varying levels of like down the purchase funnel, essentially, right? And so this is what I teach. This is what I teach. This is called my sponsorship wheel, is that all these brands that you're interacting with, they're going to be at various stages of like reception of like wanting to work with you. And so if you're not tracking this stuff, if you don't have a sales pipeline to start qualifying them and pulling them further and further and down the funnel and closer to being a customer of yours, then it's going to be really difficult to maintain a consistent income as a creator, right? And so again, it's this process of kind of teaching you like how to do this type of stuff, because you, frankly, at the end of the day, you are a business. You are a business. So anyways, just wanted to like kind of drop that nugget here. T's Hot Mess, did you mean course like Justin said, or cohort? I'm completely new here, but thanks for the suggestion. Yeah. So just to clarify, I do have 2 different versions of my program. I have a on-demand version of the program and a live version of the program, which I teach 3 times a year. And so the cohort is typically, I just finished cohort number 10, and I usually do it 3 times a year. So usually the next version is the next cohort, live cohort, is in the February, March timeframe, but I'm like almost certain that I'm going to be skipping that one this year, so that I can finish writing the book. So if you do want to like learn from this, then I would say check out the on-demand version of the program. All right. All right, here. Let's see. Did I miss any other questions here? Sarah Dawn had some really good things here. We got Trenton's Tech in the house. What is going on here? Good to see you here, dude. All right. Sarah says a touch behind, but yes. Yes to the thick skin about rejections. I've talked to a couple magazine editors in my industry. They get hundreds of submissions for 12 slots. Of course there's going to be rejections. It's nothing personal. Sure, the quality of your submission might make a difference, but you could make the best submission ever and they still might not take it. That is such a great reframe. I'm really glad that you said that, Sarah, because to kind of add on to what I was saying is that, you know, even if you make the best pitch ever, you may still get rejected. And it's not personal. It's not about you. Right? It's just like, you know, kind of luck of the draw. One of the things I talk about in my free masterclass, creatorwizard.com/masterclass, by the way. Actually, let me drop the link for that because some of you guys have asked about that. One of the things I talk about is I go through the chronology. I go through the timeline. I just dropped my link to the those of you who guys are watching on like LinkedIn or YouTube or something like that. You can check out the link in the chat. I talk about the chronology of like, when you reach out and pitch a brand cold and say, hey, I'd love to work with you for your, you know, the holiday campaign or New Year, you know, the Q1 campaign or whatever. It just might be luck of the draw that they just wrapped recruitment for that campaign 3 days ago. And they're like, no, sorry, we're not, you know, working on any paid campaigns right now. And you're like, oh no, like that sucks, right? But there's no way that you could have known that. And so in that situation, for example, just like Sarah mentioned, you can't take that personally. It's not about you. And so I think, again, just kind of removing your ego, having objectivity, having humility about this whole process is just it's gonna be such a boon to your you know, your confidence and your ability to have stamina to do this for a long time period. I think that's such a huge thing. Yeah, man, we're at time. Can't believe it here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. It always means a tremendous, like it means so much to me that I see familiar faces every week here. And I hope it's valuable for you. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I'm going to be taking a pause on the live stream for next week because of the holidays, obviously. But I hope if you're traveling, I hope you have safe travels if you celebrate Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful holiday with family and a great weekend. And I will see you the week after that. All right, everyone.